Imagine stepping onto a scale one morning and finding you weigh half as much as the day before. Not because you suddenly lost weight, but because Earth's gravity decided to take a day off. Well, half a day off, to be precise. It sounds like something out of science fiction, a premise for a superhero movie perhaps. But the implications of such a drastic change in the fundamental forces governing our planet are as profound as they are fascinating. We often take gravity for granted. This invisible force that keeps our feet planted on the ground, dictates the arc of a thrown ball, and even holds our atmosphere close. Yet, what if this familiar force were to suddenly weaken, to become half of what it was? Would we be launched into space? Would the oceans lose their grip and drift away? The reality, thankfully, is a bit less dramatic, but no less intriguing. Instead of a catastrophic event, imagine a world where you could leap over small buildings, where even the slightest push sends you soaring through the air. Picture trees reaching unprecedented heights, their growth no longer bound by the relentless pull of gravity. This is Earth transformed, a world where the familiar laws of physics get a rewrite, and the impossible becomes possible. Join me as we embark on a journey to explore this hypothetical world, a world where Earth's gravity is halved, and the consequences, both profound and whimsical, ripple through every facet of our lives and the environment around us. Before we delve into the what-ifs, let's take a moment to appreciate the what is. Gravity, at its heart, is a force of attraction between any two objects with mass. The more massive an object, the stronger its gravitational pull. That's why a tiny pebble falls to the Earth, while the Earth, in turn, is held in orbit around the massive Sun. Here on Earth, we experience gravity as a constant downward pull, a force we measure as our weight. It's what gives us a sense of up and down, what keeps our coffee from floating away, and what makes that slam dunk so satisfying, or painful depending on your landing. Now, imagine dialing down that force by 50%. Suddenly, that downward pull is halved. You're not weightless, not by a long shot, but you feel significantly lighter. It's like that feeling of relief when you take off a heavy backpack. But this time, it's the entire planet that feels a bit lighter. This reduction in gravity doesn't mean things start floating away. Earth's gravitational pull is still strong enough to keep us and everything else grounded. But it does mean that everything from the simplest actions to the most complex systems needs to adapt to a world where the rules of the game have fundamentally changed. One of the most immediate and noticeable changes in a half-gravity world would be our own physical experience. Imagine taking a casual leap and finding yourself soaring through the air, covering twice the distance with the same effort. Suddenly, those parkour videos on the internet seem less like incredible feats and more like a glimpse into everyday life. Buildings, once towering structures, now appear more manageable, their height less imposing when a single bound can take you halfway up. Sports would be revolutionized, with basketball players effortlessly dunking from the free throw line and high jumpers setting records that defy the limits of human potential in our current gravity. But it's not all fun and games. Simple tasks like walking would require a whole new learning curve. With less gravity holding us down, each step would have to be carefully calculated to avoid stumbling or taking off unintentionally. Imagine the sheer concentration required to navigate a crowded street without accidentally launching yourself into someone's day. Section 4. Nature's Balancing Act. From soaring birds to top-heavy trees. The animal kingdom, too, would experience a dramatic shift in a low-gravity environment. Birds, masters of the sky, would find themselves soaring to new heights, their wings carrying them further with each flap. Insects, their delicate wings no longer burdened by Earth's full pull, would flit and dart with newfound agility. Plant life, too, wouldn't be immune to the changes. Trees, their growth no longer constrained by gravity, would stretch towards the sky, their trunks becoming thicker and sturdier to support their weight in a world where falling is a less imminent threat. Imagine forests filled with towering giants, their canopies forming a dense, almost impenetrable roof overhead. However, this change in gravity wouldn't be without its challenges. Animals adapted to the specific gravitational pull of Earth might struggle to adapt to a world where their movements require less effort, their muscles and reflexes calibrated for a different set of physical laws. The delicate balance of ecosystems could be disrupted as predator-prey relationships are redefined in a world where both hunter and hunted move with unfamiliar agility. Section 5. Engineering for a lighter touch, building up, while gravity steps down. The impact of reduced gravity on our built environment would be profound, forcing us to rethink the very foundations of architecture and engineering. Buildings, no longer weighed down by Earth's full pull, could reach unprecedented heights, their structures lighter and more delicate without compromising stability. Bridges could span greater distances with less support, their elegant arches a testament to a world where gravity is no longer the primary concern. Transportation, too, would undergo a radical transformation. Cars could be built lighter, requiring less fuel to propel them, while airplanes would need significantly less thrust to achieve liftoff. However, this new era of construction wouldn't come without its challenges. Existing structures would need to be reassessed and potentially reinforced to withstand the forces of a half-gravity environment. New materials and building techniques would need to be developed, pushing the boundaries of engineering ingenuity to create structures that are both aesthetically pleasing and structurally sound in this new gravitational reality. Section 6. The economic seesaw, costs plummet, opportunities soar. The economic ramifications of a half-gravity Earth are as complex as they are far-reaching. On the one hand, the cost of transportation, both domestic and international, would plummet as aircraft and ships require less fuel to operate. Construction costs would also see a significant decrease, with buildings requiring less material and labor to reach greater heights. This reduction in costs could lead to an economic boom, with industries such as space exploration and tourism flourishing in a world where the barriers to entry are literally lowered. Imagine affordable space travel, with rockets requiring a fraction of their current fuel to escape Earth's gravitational pull, opening up a new frontier for exploration and commerce. However, this economic boon wouldn't come without its share of challenges. Industries reliant on the current gravitational constant, such as heavy machinery manufacturing or even traditional sports, would need to adapt or face obsolescence. The job market would undergo a significant shift, requiring retraining and reskilling for a workforce navigating a new set of economic realities. Section 7. The New Frontier. What defines us when the ground rules change? Earth's gravity halving presents a fascinating thought experiment, forcing us to confront the profound ways in which this fundamental force shapes our world. It's a world ripe with possibilities, from the whims effortlessly leaping over buildings to the more profound implications for our understanding of physics, biology, and the delicate balance of our planet's ecosystems. Yet it also poses, forcing us to question our assumptions about the world around us and adapt to a new set of rules. It compels us to consider the resilience of the human spirit, our ability to innovate and overcome challenges in the face of. With this question, in a world where Earth's gravity is halved, what would be the biggest challenge we face? Would it be the engineering feats required to rebuild our world, the biological life to thrive, or perhaps something more fundamental, a reevaluation of our place in a universe where the ground beneath our feet is a little less certain?